talk it out.
There you go.
Tweak it.
There you go.
And you're already having Thanksgiving, so there's no need to treat yourself. So then maybe you can twerk with your mother-in-law.
Oh, Jesus.
Once you guys have settled it.
Oh, God.
3 T's. Saving relationships, people. I'm telling you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Ranting Podcast. I'm Nick, and this is my lovely wife and co-host, Miranda.
Hello.
We're doing 4 back-to-back Am I the Asshole stories with our normal shenanigans, and we're tossing it back and forth as usual. Miranda and I will vote for our individual Biggest Asshole Award at the end of the episode, and listeners can let us know what they think in the comments. Now, as a reminder, I wanted to throw this in there because I wanted to make it clear why we do the other title, right?
Oh, yeah.
So as a reminder, we do name each story to make the voting easier at the end of the episode.
Just little nicknames.
Exactly. So you'll hear us say a shorter title before we read the actual story so that when we vote on the Biggest Asshole Award at the end, we don't have to say OP's entire question again.
Yeah.
So just want to make that clear because that would get super annoying.
That's fair.
To say the entire, especially some of the titles that you find are long as fuck.
I'm not the one that wrote the story.
Well, you need to contact OP and be like, hey, fix this.
You're right. That's my bad. That is.
Anything you want to add before we get into it?
I don't think so. I think I keep fucking it up and saying that this story is titled and then I say the nickname. Oh. So that's why that's my bad.
I'm calling this story blank. You know what I mean?
I gotta remember to say that. I just say the story so and then I'm like, oh, that's right. We're doing this thing. And then I'm like, oh my God.
It just makes it easier. And also I think it makes it easier, especially for our OG listeners and those that actually listen to the full episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but those titles make the title of the episode. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's it just makes sense.
I've been trying to correspond those to the, or match them to the YouTube shorts and stuff too.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Layers.
Yes.
Like a lasagna.
Dimensional.
Speaking of lasagna, oh my God, I saw a recipe earlier for the most delicious looking lasagna, and I wanted to just gobble it up through the screen.
We can try it.
It was with a bechamel sauce. I'm not going to tell you how it's made. You're going to hate it.
Oh, okay.
But
what is bechamel? What is a bechamel?
It's like a creamy sauce, like a light, creamy sauce. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
like a cheese or an actual sauce?
Yes.
Can 2 things be true here?
Yes.
Okay. Cheese can be a sauce?
Yes.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Like I said, you're going to hate it, so we're not going to go into it. But, yeah, it looked really good, and I was like, I want to eat it. And then I saw another recipe for baked spaghetti, and I was like, I want to eat that too. And then it just dawned on me that I'm really hungry.
Our algorithms are very different.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but I don't like lasagna or spaghetti.
No.
I do. My favorite, though, I will say this. Your spaghetti is, I guess, my favorite. I still don't I wouldn't choose it, right? But I don't know. I think I just had it a lot when I was younger. I think maybe that's it. I don't know what it is. But I don't like spaghetti. And I don't know. I don't know what it is.
For mine.
And then lasagna too. That's not my favorite dish. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But you and the kids love it. That actually used to be something you guys had when I would be in the field. When we were in the military, I would leave for the weekend or week or whatever, training, CTCs, deployment, shit like that. You guys would have all that. So. Oh
yeah, especially when it was just me and Malachi. I would be like, "You want lasagna this week?"
This week.
I'm gonna make a big ass lasagna and we'd eat that for 3 days.
Yeah. That's why I kind of felt bad because and that's why I try to bring it up from time to time because obviously we're not in anymore. Yeah. Obviously. And you guys don't get it as much.
No.
So I'm once a month I'll bring it up or something.
That's okay. It's all right. For a while there, because you were on a lot of extra duty at the end, when we were getting ready to move and stuff like that, that you were you had a lot of the CQ in that.
Yeah.
So we were having a lot of spaghetti for a while there. After we moved, we were we don't need a spaghetti.
Staff duty and CQ.
Yeah.
It wasn't extra duty, but
Oh, sorry. I guess I said it the
extra
wrong
duty.
way.
You said Article 15 and shit like that.
No. Well, then it was just that you were doing the extra shifts because like
Staff
everybody else
EBCQ.
was off doing trainings and stuff. And you were like, I'm 1 foot out the door.
I was
I'll
out
go.
processing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
was
were
out
like,
processing.
I'll go do CQ.
Especially, I was wrapping up college courses too. And actually, no, it was college and it was all my certifications.
Exactly. But
So
that's what
I was
I
like,
mean. Like
that's
you
fine.
were, it was like constant CQ.
Yeah.
That's why I meant extra,
Like every,
not that you were
like
in trouble.
every other day.
Yes.
Because like 24 hours on and I was off for 24 hours and I was back on.
There was a week there where you were literally every other day. And I
But
was like,
everybody was sucking in the field. So I was like, you know what?
that's why I was like, meh.
That's fine.
Like, that's all right. I was like, he'll be home in the morning. I'll see
Yeah.
him tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
I'll be gone another day. But
Yeah.
at least he's not in the field. So
Yeah, and at least we're done with that life.
True.
Because fuck.
yes, I don't know how lasagna got us here, but yay!
Because you guys had it when I was in the field.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry.
All right. You ready?
No.
All right. This one is another listener submission we received through our Reddit page. I'm calling this first story Escaping to College. So this story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Going Back to College to Stay Away from 2 Family Members? I, 27 female, have decided to go back to college to study and learn about dog grooming. Animals have always been my passion, and I find them far better than people, and it suits me to a T as I am also autistic. I cannot give out names, but this is my story. I live in a blended family through fostering and live with my 2 biological younger sisters, 125 and 124, my foster mom and dad, and 2 older girls who are 33 and 47, who also stayed put through a staying put program from social services. The 33-year-old has many complex mental health issues as well as ADHD and autism. The 47-year-old also has complex mental health issues and autism. Both of them I don't get along with and are just not pleasant to be around. The 47-year-old has no respect for anyone and is ignorant and is a bully to my younger sisters, especially to the 25-year-old who has a hearing impairment and relies on 2 hearing aids to hear. The 33-year-old is just very difficult to be around as she has upset many family members and family friends over the years, and she cannot stand it when anyone else is the center of attention. For example, if it's someone's birthday, celebrating an achievement, etc. I decided to enroll back into college. I had already passed some levels, and now I'm doing level 3, so it is at least 9 hours a week away from the household and gives me space and time to focus on something else other than the other 2 girls with many issues. The 47-year-old and 33-year-old have asked if I'm still going back to college or not at all. I said, yes, I am. They both looked at me and said, why? I said it's a profession and that I would like to do it. And I mentioned that I don't want to be home with the 2 who are just not pleasant to be around and cause all sorts of drama. They both told my mom, and she said that I should have said, yes, I am, and left it at that. I then said, well, they asked and got an answer. They may not like the answer, but I don't care. They aren't nice to me and my sisters, so why should I be nice to them? And I said, it's true. I like going to college because I don't have to deal with them 2 as they cause me to get stressed out and I don't want to be around them all the time. I then mentioned when I pass level 3, I'm going to get a job at a dog groomer's, then put a deposit on a house as I've still got money saved up for my previous job as a sales assistant at a small pet shop about 2 miles away from where I used to work. My mom looked shocked and said for me to get out of her face and not to talk to her till I apologized to the 33-year-old and 47-year-old. So again, am I the asshole for going back to college to stay away from 2 family members?
No. I think you've got a great plan, honestly. Go back to college, get a job, save up some money, and move out. Perfect. I have no tips for you because I think that
you're handling it pretty well.
Yes, I think that that's exactly what you're doing. Also, I think it's kind of, I mean, I know that your mom was probably trying to say like, oh, you shouldn't have done that because it hurt their feelings or whatever like that. But autistic people are notoriously honest. Like, yeah, you ask them a question, they're going to give you an answer, whether you like what that answer is or not. So I mean, I don't think that makes you an asshole. I understand that, like, to other people, it probably would come off as like an asshole thing that, like, you didn't have to say all that. You could have just said yes, like what your mom was saying. But the reality of it is, your brain doesn't work that way. They asked you a question and you answered it.
What do you think about the mom's reaction, though?
It sounds like
get out of her face and not to talk to her until I apologize to the two.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of maybe like her coddling the other two, and then also possibly maybe feeling like, I don't know, betrayed or like feeling abandoned or something because you're planning on moving. It sounds like they kind of intend for all of you to stay in the home forever. So maybe that's another reason she's just using the siblings as an excuse to cover her hurt feelings for your plans to move out.
Interesting, because she does say, I then mentioned when I pass level, I'm going to move out, everything.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, the way that you're interpreting it, is that the mom is mad about that. And it's kind of like, what is it, projecting?
Yes, I think she's ultimately more mad about your plans to leave than she is about what just happened. But she's using what just happened as a cover for her feelings.
OP is 27.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like your parents, it seems like... Foster parents, it seems like they maybe kind of went into this with the intention of having you guys being in their home forever.
And it sounds like this living arrangement is just a little too stressful for OP.
Yes.
And also, I think it speaks to her kind of capability, if you will.
Yes.
That she was a sales assistant at a small pet shop.
Yeah.
And now she is going to school, right, to be a dog groomer. So it's like she's chasing her dreams.
Coming up with plans, like I definitely think you can do it. I'm sure it's just a matter of like just saving up money. So like I said, I have nothing to suggest because I think you have a great fucking plan.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the asshole. You were just being honest. This is your truth. And it's sorry if it offends them, but like they're doing shit to make that be, I don't know, they're the ones that are causing it. So it's not like you didn't do anything wrong. Yes, maybe you could have just said, yes, I'm going back to college.
But like you said, autistic people.
You answered honestly.
Exactly. That's what they do.
That's all.
Right?
Exactly.
And I can appreciate the shit out of that though.
I fucking love it. Actually.
That's a great trait to have.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I wish more people would.
Yes, let's not beat around the bush. Just fucking say it like it is.
Exactly. So I don't know if we can give any feedback in that regard, just because it's what's the word?
Yeah,
like an automated kind of response.
That comes in with like the reading social cues and stuff like that, which is something that people with autism struggle with.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I think it's unreasonable for your foster mom to be like, you shouldn't have done this. You should know by now.
Yeah.
You should know. Come on.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Especially really because like everybody in the house has these kind of...
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But again, that's why I come back to like, I really think that they went into this situation with the intention of you guys being in the home forever. And now your plans of moving out are going against that. Just probably scrambling a little bit in her mind of like how what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just saying... from what I've seen and heard in other scenarios, if there's enough people or like more people in the home that are going to need help after the parents,
get paid, right?
Yeah, but if not everybody plans for like caretakers, sometimes they'll be like, oh, when we get older, there's this person or a child that we either had on our own or we adopted or something. They have special needs. So now let's bring in someone else who can help take care of their special needs when we can't do it. That's what I'm saying is like, if maybe that was their plan, because it sounds like the older two have maybe worse, disabilities.
Okay.
So if they foresaw that at some point they weren't going to be able to be caretakers anymore, maybe that's why they're looking to you. I'm not saying that that's what it actually is.
Possibility.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Okay.
I've heard of it before.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not letting go of that possibility.
I think you're onto something though, because the mom seems to just the reaction, and I think I didn't pick up on that when I read it myself. I then mentioned when I pass level 3, I'm going to move out, blah, 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 right? And then the mom looked shocked and said for me to get out of her face and to not talk to her until I apologize. I think the first part, get out of her face, is exactly what you had said. It's in response to what she just said about moving out. And then she followed it up with, you know, to apologize to the other two.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening here for sure. That makes the most sense to me. Do you think the mom is kind of leaning on asshole-ish behavior, or do you think she's just kind of going through just a rough couple seconds there? What do you think? Kind of like more like a knee-jerk reaction, or do you think?
I mean, because I don't know, obviously we don't have a whole lot of background about the mom or anything like that. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just
fair.
be like, that's just how she's reacting. She's trying to like shield her own feelings, or she is about to be a raging asshole and
could go either way.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that that's where her feelings are coming from, just because of like the order of the reaction and what you said and all that stuff. But
I would think, right, from the limited kind of information we have on the mom, the foster parents, I guess, is that you would think that she'd be a lot more patient, understanding, whatever, with the kind of situation that they've, made for themselves, right? They're foster parents. They're bringing in all these people with, disabilities. So you would think she'd be a lot more patient than just like quick to snap at you.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning a little more towards kind of asshole-ish behavior, because like you didn't have to do all that.
that's what I was gonna lean towards initially. I feel like she's leaning closer to asshole territory than anybody else.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess than OP, because obviously if you're having issues with the other siblings too, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, I don't know. Like I said, we don't have the details on the mom, so I don't know what to assume, I guess. But I think she's definitely leaning closer to that side of the spectrum than anything else.
I mean, yeah, the asshole-ish kind of.
Yeah.
Because, this is... And I'm even kind of leaning a little more now that I'm thinking about this, and that's that the mom is just completely disregarding what OP is feeling about the other two. Like she's going as far as like she doesn't want to be in the house anymore because she doesn't like these two.
Exactly.
Everything she just told you, and you didn't take any of that in consideration, and all you said was, get out of my face.
Yeah, you need to apologize.
Don't talk to me until you apologize to them. She just told you that she's unhappy with these two. You know what I mean? So, like, you're completely disregarding that. So, I think, I don't know. I lean even a little harder towards kind of asshole behavior on the mom's part.
That's definitely going to reinforce any bad behavior or whatever towards OP, because now they see, like, oh, mom's on our side.
Exactly.
She's going to make you apologize.
Yeah. I wonder if mom's on their side because they're not talking about leaving.
Maybe. Again, that's what I'm saying. I really think that it's because they intended for you guys to be in the home forever.
Huh.
So once again,
that's rough.
Stick with your plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stick so fucking hard with that plan and get out.
I think, OP deserves, props. For doing everything that she's doing. She's doing it, she was a little blunt, but we already talked about that aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of in her nature, right?
Yeah.
But I think, like you had said, she's making all the right moves.
Yeah.
She's making moves, like, for her life, and you love to see it.
Exactly. I hope all the good things for you. And it's a dog grooming business?
No, not a business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she wants to become,
she wants to become a dog groomer. Gotcha,
she was a sales assistant previously, which is where she saved up some money, and that's how she's going to put a deposit on a house.
Okay. Well, I hope that all goes well for you.
Absolutely.
Like, from the bottom of my heart, I really do.
And I can kind of, I would actually, bond with a person like this, because, I don't like a whole lot of people either. Like, sometimes I prefer animals, too. So, I get it.
Sometimes they're just easier.
I get it. Yeah. If somebody can shed some light, though, on the one thing that I didn't quite understand, I didn't look into it, is the levels.
I think that's a UK thing.
Maybe.
Or maybe, wait, shit.
I had already passed some levels, and now I'm doing level 3. So it is at least 9 hours a week away from the household. So I wonder if I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows about
Yeah.
dog grooming school or whatever. I was just curious if anybody
trying
has
to
any
think
experience
of-
with that, like how many levels there are and kind of
Yeah.
how that works. But I mean, regardless though, this is, and that's, I mean, that even shows more kind of, I don't know if initiative
Yeah, definitely.
to OP, because like
And-
this isn't just like a spur of the moment knee jerk reaction. I'm gonna go do this thing.
Exactly.
She's gone through these levels.
Yes,
You know?
you're making a plan. You're doing all, like, I think you're doing great, and I
Yeah.
think you're gonna do even better once you're like living independently and not having to deal with stressors at home and stuff like that.
And it all, I mean, 9 times out of 10, these stories all come down to one thing for us, and it's protect your peace.
That's true.
So, I mean, OP's doing that.
Yes.
So keep doing you.
Go do the damn thing. Get it, girl.
All right, time for our next story.
Yes. So this one I'm calling Chore Chart Karen.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
But the title is, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Continue Participating in the Roommate Chore Chart? We'll call my roommates Ashley and Elise. After a divorce, I moved across the country to Boston. New start. Upon move-in, had a roommate meeting, got a roommate text chat, and agreed to a chore chart rotation. At first, it started great. Everyone did their chores without issue and without delay. It was perfect. Things began to change, though. Ashley would need someone to cover dishes. Elise would need someone to take out trash for her. I would always offer and take it up just to make things run smoothly. But that was not just a hiccup. It eventually became the norm. The other 2 girls would lean more and more on me. Other quirks came up as well. Things like Ashley watching me come and go through our 2nd-story window, Ashley shaking in the middle of the room in her pajamas at 3 a.m. when I get home from a closing shift, worried that I'm breaking in, way too frequently for how often I worked a closing shift. Ashley in general just became a lot. One day, I'm out with friends and I get a text in the group chat from Ashley. She's saying that she'll take down the trash, but not all of it. 2 plastic grocery-sized bags were personal looking, and so she said she wouldn't take it down and that the owner can deal with it. But at this point, I've kind of had it. Ashley has regularly only done half of her chores or got someone else to do it for reasons. And I was tired of picking up the slack. So I wrote, hey, those are mine. I can totally take mine down if you don't want to, but going forward, I'll just take care of my own things, so don't worry about it. They asked if that meant I wasn't participating in the chore chart. I said yes, and then went on to explain, just to make things easy, I'm going to keep my food, dishes, trash, and all belongings in my room. I'll clean up after myself at the point of mess and just do me. I had a mini fridge, dish rack, trash bin, etc., all in my room. Ashley and Elise complained, saying things about how if they made a mess on the stove, who would clean it up if it wasn't their week? I argued that we're all adults and should just clean up after ourselves. We're all 25 plus years old. They didn't like that. Ashley began DMing me about being selfish. When I got home, she was watching me come back and tried to intervene and have a discussion. I said no and went to my room. Didn't want to talk angry, needed to cool off. After a barrage of texts and knocks, she texted me telling me that when her dad was young, he said he hated his mom after an argument. They went to bed, mom died in her sleep, and dad never got to take it back. So, in quotes, if we don't make up before bed, we might not ever get the chance. Eventually, Ashley and Elise cornered me in the kitchen, saying I'm off, and tried to pry into my emotional problems. They wouldn't drop it, so I quickly rattle off a list about recently getting divorced, new meds, new area, just wanting to handle my own things, and I went back to my room and locked the door. Am I the asshole for refusing to continue participating in the roommate chore chart?
No, get out of there. This is horrible. Everything. It just got worse and worse.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah, like this was awful. And then what was the thing about, okay, I didn't want to interrupt you. What was the thing about the shaking in the middle of the room because she thought that she was breaking in?
Yeah, apparently, like when she would come home from working a closing shift, Ashley thought that somebody was breaking into the house, and she was like,
But you
that's
knew
why
that she was
like,
at work.
I work
A closing
shift.
shift. And then so that, And then the cutting her off when she came back from, she was out with her friends or whatever, after she said she didn't want to participate anymore in the chore chart. She came back and they were like trying to like
corner her essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the comment at the door about like your dad and mom about how which I'm willing to bet is a fake fucking story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to try to get you to come out so you can make it like this sounds like mental instability.
Kind of.
Like a severe like this you need to get out of there, right? To the point where like you have a dish rack and a garbage and food and a mini fridge and everything just inside your room.
You're
like,
making a whole other kitchen in your bedroom instead of like wanting to deal with these people.
The only thing you're missing is a bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, you put a fucking
bucket in
Home
there.
Depot bucket in there, and you got a whole apartment inside your room.
Oh,
like this, you
God.
cannot be happy with this arrangement.
I don't see how.
And I don't think you're the asshole in any way, shape, or form. But I think so. Okay. I don't think you're the asshole in any way, shape, or form, right? But I am kind of judging you a little bit for staying in this living arrangement because, like, you are better than this.
Yes.
Like, this is not healthy. These people are trying to control you, and then they're trying to pawn off. It sounds like they want like a
live-in maid.
A maid.
Yeah.
Or like a mom figure or whatever, like somebody that's going to come in and clean up after you. You know what I mean? And then the fucking comment about the dirty stove. Who's going to clean up the dirty stove if it's not my week? Bitch, you.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, what do you mean who's going to clean it up?
I'm going to throw a fucking dish rag at you. What?
Yes, I know when I read that, I was like...
It just got worse.
I was like, are you 12? What do you mean who's going to clean up after you make a mess? You!
It sounds like they just want like a... would a scapegoat be...
No,
they want somebody to just put off all the chores on because like they were backing out of chores.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So like they just want somebody to put all that shit off on, and it's like even when it's their week.
Yeah,
which makes that question even more kind of ironic, I guess, because like, well, who's gonna clean up the mess if it's not my week? Well, it was gonna be me anyways because you guys keep backing out of your fucking chores.
There you go.
I'm not understanding what's happening. This story just got worse and worse and worse.
I know.
But no, so what's the question verbatim again?
Am I the asshole for refusing to continue participating in the roommate chore chart?
Honestly, this is classic boundary setting.
Yeah.
Like, no, absolutely not. I don't think so. Now, the only thing I would say is to go back. I didn't catch this part, but the agreement on is it in a contract or like when was that established?
It was upon move-in from the sounds of it.
You said there was a meeting.
Yes.
You just rambled off. So,
well, that's how she wrote it.
Yeah, right.
Upon move-in, had a roommate meeting, got a roommate text chat, and agreed to a chore chart rotation.
The first day.
I guess they're just trying to make sure.
It's like you just got into a fucking military unit.
Like, I don't.
This is your in processing.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what it seems like. Yeah. So I don't know.
Definitely not the asshole. I definitely give you props for setting those boundaries and starting to step away. I just don't think. I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. I don't know if that's. I guess that could be successful. I'm sure some people do find success in that kind of thing. But I think it's what OP said. That
just like putting all their stuff.
Everybody's gonna worry about their own stuff. I think so. For example, that's gonna become problematic when it comes to the bathroom, for example, right? Because that's a shared space. You know what I mean? So like, and it's gonna be again even more so is like somebody makes a mess. But either they don't notice it or they just ignore it or whatever and move on. And then there's nobody there to do chores for that week. And then it's the mess is going to pile up. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, okay, the shower. Who's going to clean the shower? Exactly. You're going to clean it after every use? You know what I mean? This, I foresee this becoming problematic. It works for your bedroom, but not everything. I mean, until you go to Home Depot. You can't do everything in your...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think in general, like... just overall, the not being upfront and telling them, like, I know that they were trying to corner you as well, but that probably would have been the time to be like, I'm not doing the fucking chore chart anymore. I don't like this thing or whatever. Like, but I mean, she was saying that like she just quickly rattled off a list of things like the getting divorced, new meds, new area. That would have been the time to be like, this is the issue. I'm not doing this and da-da-da, like we're done. But that's my only complaint.
I don't even... Wait, why is that a complaint? Now you lost me. Why is that a complaint for you?
Because then, like, that would have been the time to just, like, say what you needed to say instead of...
But she already did that. She already said she didn't want to participate through the text.
Yeah, but then, like, when they initially tried talking to her, which made sense when she came home, she's like, I didn't want to talk to them while I was angry. I needed to cool off. That makes sense. And then later when they did try, I understand, like, you probably, because you felt cornered and everything, that's why you were like, just get off of me.
Right.
So I understand your reaction, but I'm saying I think that definitely would have been a good time to be like, this is the issue, or da-da-da-da-da, instead of, like, trying to tiptoe around it. I don't know.
I semi-agree, but it depends on the personality as
exactly,
well. So if it's somebody that just doesn't like confrontation, I could see her not being just able to do that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And you're also up against these two other people that you're living with.
And you're being cornered?
So you're feeling ganged up on. But that would be my only, I guess, maybe only suggestion is like, you've already started telling them that you're just going to focus on your own things. Definitely don't go back to offering to help them with their stuff.
No, that needs to stop.
Make sure that you don't revert back to that. And then, like...
They were using you.
Oh, absolutely. But for real, like, don't tiptoe around it and just be like, oh, I'm just emotional about this stuff. Like, tell them, like, you guys, I have an issue with this living situation. I have an issue with this or whatever. Because then if you keep trying to tiptoe around it, I feel like they're probably going to keep trying to corner you and saying, like, you're off. What's wrong?
Yeah. And I would take it even a step further. And for somebody, it seems like she just doesn't like confrontation, in my opinion.
And
I think something that you could do is use data points.
Yeah.
So like everything, because you already listed off a bunch of things where like they were pawning their chores off on you, they were cornering you, they were lightening you up in the DM.
Yeah.
Right. Calling you selfish. List all of that and fucking send it to them in the group chat and be like, this is why this doesn't work because of XYZ.
That's what I was going to say. Like, maybe reread through your post and take your points from that and then, like, send them up through, be like, this is what my problem is. This is why I've been feeling off or whatever. Like, I'm, having issues with these things and trying to figure out how to navigate this living situation.
And that's why I kind of arrived at that kind of, I guess, semi-conclusion is that she was so kind of... what's the word? Not off-put. What's the word? She was so standoffish, I guess. She didn't address it like the way that you said she should have. But in this post, she clearly can. That's why it kind of makes me think that like maybe she's not confrontational. Yeah,
maybe you just need to write it all out and send
you just did.
That's why I'm saying take the
copy
points
and paste
from here, put it in the group chat, and like
I'm gonna send you the URL.
There you go. I think you should. What's
this.
their number? I'm gonna text it.
But yeah, I mean, definitely not the asshole. I think you're absolutely correct for, I back the decision to set those boundaries. But again, I know everybody's situation is different. Some people can't. I know sometimes we're like, you need to get out of there, right? And sometimes it's not an option.
Exactly.
But I feel like, and this is just my opinion, is that if something really matters to you, truly matters to you for your physical health, your mental health, all that kind of stuff, you're going to make it happen, right? Even if it takes a little bit of time, you can make a move. No matter what fucking situation you're in, you can make a move. Because at the end of the day, just like the last story, you got to protect your peace. And like your peace, like your bubble is quickly shrinking. It's no longer this entire dwelling.
Yeah, now you just got your bedroom.
It's your room. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's going to start to be affected because they're going to start to, I guarantee, there's going to be conflict that comes up from the other other chores. Yeah. So like the chores that aren't getting done, cleaning the bathroom, the shower, all the kind of the communal spaces.
Exactly.
It's going to create conflict. And I 100% back you for backing out of this agreement, but you got to back out of the whole living arrangement.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So the comments for the most part were they're kind of split actually.
Okay.
There wasn't, I don't think, I found
Did you get numbers for?
No, I didn't get numbers, but there wasn't any "you're the asshole." There was more of an even split between "not the asshole" and "everyone sucks
Okay.
here."
Okay.
So I got 2 of each.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So this first one said, honestly, the chores are the least of it. The constant texts, knocking, cornering OP in the kitchen, and trying to dig into their personal life after they said they needed space is way more concerning. Not the asshole. And the second one said, not the asshole, but you should have called them on their bad behavior, putting shit on you, and then when it's their turn, half-assing the job. Which I agree.
Okay, yeah.
And then this next one said, everyone sucks here. They're lazy. You're immature and won't use your words. I'm 52 years old and have never had a chore chart. Just clean up like adults. Which I just liked the last part there of like, I thought it was kind of silly having the chore chart to begin with.
I think you're dead wrong for attacking OP, but...
Well, yeah.
And OP agreed to those terms because she was the new person, so she was just doing what everybody else was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I think now that you realize that it doesn't work, that's why you're like, I'm backing out of this rotation.
But okay, whatever.
But
I don't think OP sucks at all, but that's fine.
No. The last one said, everyone sucks here. They suck for the obvious reasons. Not even going to go into that. But yo, you had the opportunity to speak up and tell them exactly what's wrong. And instead, you're talking about your divorce and medications. Come on. You should have been straightforward with them and told them that they're lazy pigs and you're sick of cleaning up after them and doing their chores. This disagreement didn't happen because of your divorce. It's because they're both incredibly lazy individuals. You have to be honest with people, otherwise they'll continue to believe that their behavior is perfectly acceptable.
It's so...
Which I like the overall message behind that of like,
but,
you need to tell them. But that's why I was saying, take all your points from this story and tell them that.
It's so easy for a commenter to say all that because that's something that verbatim, that's something that you say in like your bedroom after, like if you're in the scenario, it's something that you say out of frustration after the fact in your bedroom by yourself when you start going over the conversation in your head and you're like, oh, I should have fucking, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That's what this commenter is doing. Yeah. Where OP was actually in the moment. And I think for you to say that she sucks because she didn't get the opportunity you got to kind of gather their thoughts and gather a comeback. I think you're kind of a shitbag for that.
Yeah.
Because OP in no way, shape, or form sucks here. Especially if she's not confrontational.
Exactly. Well, that's why in a lot of these, I feel like more and more, it's like, well, we're saying all these shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and like, you can't go back to that situation. And like everybody, like you said, has been in a situation where you're in an altercation or whatever. And then later when you're in the shower, you're like, fucking bitch.
Right.
Like washing your hair and cussing them
and
out.
And that was that comment. That was that comment.
Yes, exactly. But that's why I was saying, I still come back to, I think that because you're still in the living situation, maybe you guys are still trying to resolve it. Definitely take the time to collect your thoughts, put down all of your issues, and then that's what you need to bring to the conversation. Yeah. I agree. Don't keep putting it off on like, oh, my divorce and new medication. No. Like, don't blame it on something that's not the problem. Don't let them think that it's a you problem. It's a house or apartment problem. It's a roommate problem.
And I mean, I think she did that through the text. She was still a little kind of...
I think she was still kind of vague about it and was just like, I'll do my own thing.
But she was more targeted. She was more targeted. It wasn't about the divorce and the medication and stuff like that. That was only when she was confronted. When it was actually through text and she was able to gather her thoughts and her emotions, for a quick second, then she was able to actually kind of target the root cause, right? So again, this makes me think that she's not confrontational.
I agree.
Because then she was hit with confrontation. She was fucking cornered by two people. Yeah. And then she just started like rambling off some like nonsense about, stuff that has nothing to do with this. And I think she's just not confrontational.
I agree. She doesn't suck. I think you're just trying to like beat around the bush about it though. And it's getting to the point where like, you got to stop doing that. Yeah. You have to be upfront. Otherwise, like you guys are just going to keep fucking running around this bush forever.
And she can clearly gather her thoughts because of this post.
Yes. So like, write it out.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is that she's not confrontational. She just needs to gather her thoughts. And, this needs to be like a text. Yeah. In that group chat and let them know this is what's happening. But also like in the background, you need to...
I think you should start looking for
formulate an exit strategy. Yeah.
100%. I think even if you guys do like resolve this issue, I still think you should move
I don't
out.
see how it sounds like this is a pattern.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think that it's ever going to fully resolve either. I think it might be like, okay, we fixed it. And then like, I think it's going to come up later or something. Ashley gives off like a kind of complicated roommate vibe. So I think no matter what,
and I think
probably find a new place if you can.
I agree. I don't even know if it's really just like something that they can like gloss over or they can kind of patch, like truly patch to the core, because this seems like a compounding issue. So like it starts with like the obvious thing, right? About her going to work and working the late shift, the night shift or whatever it was. And then coming home and Ashley's like freaking out that somebody's breaking in. Like, I do this every night.
Yeah. Well, then like I saw some other comments that she was like, oh, I always rush to her to comfort her. If I'm working a late ass shift and I have to constantly rush to you to comfort you because you think someone's breaking in at the same fucking time that I get off of my closing shift, I'm going to throw my fucking shoe at you.
Two things.
And be like, burglar! Go to bed!
Two things. One, it sounds, again, like mental instability.
Something.
Because that's insane. But then two, if she's not confrontational, she's not going to do that.
I know.
Though she should. But, again, and this just, makes the point even more kind of concrete, I guess, is that, the fact that she rushes to her apparently every night to calm her down when she gets home at the same time, that shows me she doesn't have a confrontational bone in her body.
I feel like sometimes when we read these stories, I realize how like impatient I really am, because that would set me all the fucking way off.
I mean, but that's exactly what that's exactly what you're telling OP to do. I
know, but that's what I'm saying.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, like I just imagine like if you have like a really bad shift, you already get off late, you got to drive home in the middle of the night, you just want to fucking go to bed, and this bitch is like, I did this last night.
Yeah.
Why are you crying right now?
Honestly, I would me personally, if it's gonna happen every night, I'm just gonna pass her by.
Yeah, I'm not even
gonna entertain your shit anymore.
No,
because now either there's in my mind there's only two possibilities: mental instability, or you are attention seeking like a motherfucker. Like you want me to come and comfort you. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Bitch, get out of my face. I just got done working. Like no,
I don't have the patience or like the mental capacity to give you this kind of emotional support right now. I've had a long day. I'm going to shower and I'm going to bed.
She needs a
you need an emotional support
animal. There you
go.
Yes, emotional support animal.
Get a fucking dog.
Something. Yeah. But then don't. You're gonna be one picking up dog shit though.
Oh, I know. It's just gonna be more chores.
Yeah, don't try to add that to a chore chart. God. Oh, get out of there, OP. Get out of there.
Please, for your sake. I hope that you do.
Even if you can't get your own place, just get out of there.
Yeah, I don't know. But, all right. That was our second Am I the Asshole story.
I'm calling this story Thanksgiving Dilemma. So this story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Asking That My Fiancé's Family Rotate Who Hosts Thanksgiving? My fiancé and I have lived together for almost 2 years. Before we got together, he typically hosted Thanksgiving because he was single and didn't have children. He and his mom also enjoy cooking together as a way to bond, and his mom doesn't get along with his older brother's wife. We hosted Thanksgiving at our apartment last year, and it was honestly a lot for me. His mom stayed with us for about 4 days. We paid to have the apartment professionally cleaned. He and his mom essentially took over the kitchen, and we had multiple guests in our home for hours. By the end of it, Thanksgiving felt more like work than a holiday to me. This year, I told my fiancé that I think hosting Thanksgiving should be a shared family responsibility rather than something that automatically falls on us every year. I asked whether his brother could host this time since their mom is the one traveling from out of town. There wasn't a huge argument about it, but I did get pushback. The reasoning was that because his mom doesn't get along with his sister-in-law, having his brother host isn't ideal. I was also told that since his mom isn't local, it's logistically easier for my fiancé to host Thanksgiving for the entire family like he has in the past. My issue is that this is now our shared home. I pay half the rent, and I feel like my opinion should carry equal weight when it comes to having overnight guests and hosting a large family gathering. I'm not saying his family shouldn't celebrate together or that his mom shouldn't visit. I just don't think our apartment should automatically be the Thanksgiving location every year because that was the tradition before I lived here. The way it's being framed makes me feel like I'm disrupting a family tradition by asking someone else to host this year. Now, there is an update. I'm just going to give it to you right now because it clarifies some of those points.
Okay.
We moved into a new apartment once getting engaged, so the apartment being discussed is a new space for both of us. Regarding the hosting responsibilities, I'm assisting financially. The last year it was hosted at his apartment when we were not engaged. I paid $300 plus for wine and spirits. Last year, the first year it was hosted at our apartment, I paid for a cleaning service and for wine and spirits. Yes, the brother and his wife, discussed daughter-in-law, attend the Thanksgiving celebration, so the mom and daughter-in-law coexist for a few hours. Why the mom and daughter-in-law don't get along? Typical things, don't agree with parenting style, thinks the son could do better, etc. So again, am I the asshole for asking that my fiance's family rotate who hosts Thanksgiving?
No, not at all. I would be straight up and tell your fiance, like, if we don't figure something out, we're about to be in the same situation that your brother and his wife are in with your mom. Because it sounds to me like maybe your mom has some, I'm guessing, some boundary issues with respecting the significant others. Yeah, that's not going to fly. So as long as I am living in this house and I am also paying the bills here and we're in a relationship, if you are not going to be considering my feelings on this situation, then we're not going to be continuing. So how do you want to do it? Because like this is going to keep escalating one way or another. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that the sister-in-law and mother didn't start off just like not being around each other. I'm sure that there was boundaries overstepped before it got to that point. So yeah, I would just make it very clear. Like if you want us to continue, we need to get on the same team. Otherwise, like, I don't know. I mean, ideally, me and you on the same team, then we get your brother and his wife on the same team, and then we just tell your mom that she needs to deal with the fucking rotation, or she can host it at her place. But I don't know.
There'd be more people traveling, but I get the point.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like we need to figure something out, but I'm not going to constantly like, especially like this. Why do I have to do all this every year? They get out of it because they don't get along. Okay, well now I don't get along with your mom either. Boom, I'm out.
There you go.
Look at how easy that was.
Fair.
I'm just saying, like, if these boys keep playing into their mom's hand, y'all are going to end up single, probably back with your mom, which is honestly probably what she wants.
Maybe. So what do you think about the duration of the stay?
That is so long. 4 days? Why do you need to be here for 4 days? Thanksgiving is one.
Oh, yeah, I thought Thanksgiving was 1 day.
No.
You know what I mean? That would be something else that so I don't know if I entirely agree with the rotation. It really depends on, it sounds like, because he said logistically, I'm wondering what the logistically part is, because my only comment, right, is that if the brother, right, doesn't have, like, say they have like a 1-bedroom apartment or something like that, it's just logistically, that would be a fucking nightmare where everybody's uncomfortable. I don't agree with rotating, but we don't know that aspect. But we have, I think because of the logistically part, that kind of makes sense to me, that there's just, maybe they just have a really small place or whatever, right? But I would, another COA, right, that you could do instead of doing that, like forcing the rotation, is limiting the duration.
That's a big one. I think you should do that regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, 100%. Yeah, because then OP is completely not in the wrong here, in my opinion, right? But I think there's always multiple ways that you can attack a problem, right? And another option that you have is, especially if it would be a logistical nightmare to go do all that. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the brother's house, no one stays overnight, right? They can still, it sounds like, and that's another thing too that I want to kind of take into consideration, like, this doesn't seem like a mama's boy. Like, we have come across a lot of mama's boys in a lot of these stories, and they're like blatantly like in the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
This one seems to enjoy cooking with his mom.
Yeah, it does seem like they do have a nice tradition, but like when you're starting a new family, which is you've got a fiance,
Yep.
you're starting a new family, sometimes traditions have to change with that.
Yeah.
So,
But I would say that you could still host it at your house if there is no other options, like we said, like the logistically part, right? But no one stays overnight.
yeah, it would be like
This is a
like,
1 day thing.
She can come like the day before, you guys can hang out. She can go to her hotel, and then she can come back after I have my first mimosa.
Yeah, exactly. That's like I said, there are multiple ways that you can address this problem, and I don't think you should put your foot down on just doing the rotation because, again, logistically, that could be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, no, I agree. It doesn't have to be on like rotation or nothing, but I do think that you guys need to come to an agreement instead of just like, oh, well, you're ruining a family tradition and blah, 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 blah. Like I said, it needs to be tweaked. Like, it needs to be adjusted. So,
And another thing that I like is that the fiance didn't start an argument. There wasn't a fight. OP says there was a little pushback, and that being
probably from the brother and his wife.
I was told that since his mom isn't local, it's logistically easier for my fiance to host Thanksgiving for the entire family like he has in the past. Interesting. Now that I reread that, I wonder if it's the sleeping arrangements.
Probably.
I was also told that since his mom isn't local, so nowhere to stay, it's logistically easier for my fiance to host Thanksgiving for the entire family like he has in the past. That changes it a little bit for me because if we're only doing this, if the only reason that we're doing it here at our place is because she doesn't have a place to sleep, no, because there are hotels.
Exactly.
Right? And also, again, like this being a 4-day thing,
yeah,
we don't need to do this every year.
Exactly.
So I would completely agree. If that's the logistical nightmare
yeah.
that they're talking about, you know what I mean? Is just her sleeping arrangements?
Yeah.
No, y'all need to figure that shit out because we don't need to do this for 4 days every year.
Yeah, I think regardless, you just need to come up with a different plan because obviously this isn't working out. I wouldn't want people in my house that long either.
4 days?
That's so long.
1 day is a lot.
Like I said, everybody can show up after I have my first mimosa. At 10 o'clock.
I mean, yeah, that's, and especially like 4 nights, 3 nights,
that's
whatever.
That's long. What are you doing for all that time? You don't need to do that much prep for Thanksgiving.
I don't know. I don't know
Jesus.
what's happening.
How
I
many
wonder if it's
people
like
are you cooking for?
the day
It's
prior,
an apartment.
the day of, and then 2 days after. Like this is unreal, right? My only thing is when I originally read it is logistically, I thought if the brother's apartment was just too small to host, then like if everybody's gonna be uncomfortable, this is gonna be awful.
Yeah.
But if logistically you meant just for her to sleep, that changes it for me. Like we can do a rotation, we can do something like that. If he is actually if his place is capable of actually like seating all of us, I think it should be part of the conversation. But to go off your point, I think it all comes down to one core kind of principle thing is that united front.
Exactly.
Is that the fiance, right? And OP and fiance need to come to an agreement on something that they're both happy with, no matter what that is.
I mean, I would definitely start out with like, this is a very big disruption to my routine for 4 days, and it's really fucking me up.
I mean, yeah, 4 days is too long.
I can't do it.
That's insane.
I'd be like, we're starting a whole new routine now. That's not even, I don't like it. No.
That's too much.
Absolutely.
But I think you definitely need to take OP's obviously consideration, her opinion into consideration because now you're not just a single guy, you know?
Well, I don't think you're the asshole for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That was mine as well. The overall Reddit verdict was not the asshole, with 55 votes for not the asshole, 21 for you're the asshole, and 1 everyone sucks here. Oh, wow. And I grabbed 3 of each.
Okay.
The first one, red flag number 1, she doesn't get along with the daughter-in-law, which you flagged right away. Red flag number 2, instead of pushing them to reconcile, her sons walk on eggshells and risk their own romantic relationships to please mom. Not the asshole. This is bigger than Thanksgiving. Don't marry him until he grows a backbone and asks his mom to act like an adult.
That's solid advice.
There you go. Next one is you're the asshole. Your fiance's family is going to hate you and he might resent you too. Buckle up. It sounds like your fiance likes hosting Thanksgiving for his family. You probably shouldn't marry into this family. You don't fit in. It's only been 2 years and you're already trying to make big changes. You're not even the wife yet. Which, I mean, I get some of that, but...
I'm on the fence with that one.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call you an asshole because you're kind of being ignored right now.
Yeah.
But I can also see like you are trying to change a tradition.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yes.
But I will always disagree. Well, I shouldn't say always. That's too concrete. Most of the time, I will disagree with because I've seen this a couple times, especially in like our comments, is that you're not even the wife yet. Because that's like waiting to have a serious conversation about something like kids or whatever, right? Until you're actually married.
That's what I was going to say.
It's the wrong fucking answer.
Yeah, I think that at a certain point, intention comes into it. Because if you guys are really intending on like having this marriage, having a life together, then yes, I do expect you to start treating me like I'm your wife now.
Absolutely.
If you're not going to make necessary changes now when we're not married, what is going to give me any hope that you're going to make those changes once we are? Why do I have to wait until we're legally bound to see a difference?
Exactly.
Like, why do I have to wait around to see?
For either side of it. Either
No,
side
I
of it,
know, but
you shouldn't have to wait until you're actually, bound by a contract.
Exactly.
Essentially, to see your true side.
Yes, I'm not waiting
That's insane.
until we're married to see how you should treat me. You should treat me how you're going to treat me while we're married.
Because if you don't, then the way that you're currently treating them, right, however that is.
They don't have any motivation to change.
Exactly. Like I will, again, not every time, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to disagree with that statement because you can't wait to get married to see how somebody's going to feel about a certain scenario.
Exactly.
Or how they're going to treat you or whatever. You need to see that before you sign that fucking paperwork.
Yes, that's why that's why I was on the fence with it because within reason, yes, I absolutely agree with like, you're not even his wife yet. I get that. But you guys are engaged. So that's where that intention begins.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you've moved up a little bit on that hierarchy.
Exactly.
So yes, that's why I don't fully agree with that because I'm saying if I'm your fiance and you're like, oh, I'm going to start treating you like my girlfriend, you're about to have an ex-fiance. Okay.
Start treating you like a girlfriend.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If I'm you
treating you the
girlfriend
same.
treatment is up here. Fiance treatment is up here. If I'm your fiance, you better be giving me that fucking treatment.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost like a trial run. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You should see exactly what you're getting yourself into because if you allow, that kind of stuff or like I said, the conversation about like a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
Or kids or whatever. If you wait to get married to have all those conversations and to see what your actual intentions are or whatever your actions are, like it may be too late because then, like you said, what's motivating them to change?
Exactly. And now what you guys find out that you don't like what you don't agree, now you have to pay for a fucking divorce.
Annulment?
Maybe.
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
You knew each other?
I don't even know
what
how.
What did Ross say?
I don't know. Which time?
But yeah, I mean, all valid points. You know what I mean? Like, you can't wait to get married for a lot. And that's why I don't agree with that one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But the tradition part, though, is one thing that I'm like, I kind of take that into consideration. Like, I kind of see that part of it because if this is like, and they don't say it, I don't think they hinted at like how long the tradition's been going on. But if this is like
sounds like it's been a while.
If it's been a 10-year tradition and you guys have only been together for 2, like you got to beat 10 before you can actually like try to change this fucking thing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Not really.
Like, I don't know. I don't understand how you can come in and just be like, this has to change right now. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that's fair because if you didn't say anything while you guys were dating, that's within that of like where that comment is.
That's what I mean. She never said she had an issue.
Exactly. But because on some level, it wasn't really your place. You guys were just dating.
That's fair.
And he was hosting his family at his apartment. So it really wasn't your place to say anything. Now you guys are engaged to be married and you have this new apartment together.
Yeah.
it's 100% your place to say when you have a problem with a hosting situation, because this is now your home and this is now something that you are also being expected to do every year. So that's why, like, I think, you know, call back to one of the previous stories. If you let it go year after year after year, and then one year you're like, we're not doing this anymore, then you're the asshole
100%.
Because you're bringing it up now.
That's true.
When it is now becoming your responsibility as well. You're not the asshole, because now is the time for you to say, I don't like the way that this went. We need to make some changes.
I think there's certain things that I would feel better about, like the request. Like if this was a 10-year tradition, and like one of the things that they call out is that the brother or the fiance enjoys cooking with the mother, and that's their bonding time, right?
Yes.
So now going to somebody else's kitchen, do they lose that? So again, I come back down to I don't think it's your place to break the tradition altogether. I think it's definitely your place to alter it. Like how we talked about, like the duration, or maybe she doesn't stay with you. I don't think you can take that actual Thanksgiving tradition away as far as them cooking together and all that stuff. That's not your place, because they've been doing that for longer than you've fucking even been around, right? Yeah. But I still think, I do agree that she still should have a say. Yeah. Right? Like, you're still disrupted for 4 days. That's what kind of breaks it for me. And she stays there, and logistically it has to be here because she has nowhere else to sleep. Like,
I don't like it.
No. We can definitely tweak this, but still make it your guys' tradition.
The 3 T's, the 4 T's. I'm taking one out, though, so it's back to the 3 T's.
Okay.
Talk it out.
There you go.
Tweak it.
There you go.
And you're already having Thanksgiving, so there's no need to treat yourself. So then maybe you can twerk with your mother-in-law.
Oh, Jesus.
Once you guys have settled it.
Oh, God.
3 T's. Saving relationships, people. I'm telling you. Everybody should listen to me.
Oh, God. The third comment. Everyone sucks here. It was a tradition before you moved in, and if you knew that's tradition and was okay with moving in, you shouldn't be surprised. It's still expected to continue. If it was such a deal breaker, you should have brought it up before moving in together, which is fair. A few days per year are not worth making fuss over or creating family drama that will continue for much longer. I agree. Again, I agree with some of it, but not all of it, because you can still alter the tradition without just stripping it away from him altogether.
So I kind of agree. Well, no, actually, I disagree with you should have said something beforehand, because, like, again, if he was just hosting his family at his apartment when they were just dating, she might not have been, like, in it like she was, or, you know, now that she's living in the apartment, she might not have been as, like, involved in the tradition, because if his mom was there for 4 days, he easily could have been like, yo, my mom's here, I'll see you on Thanksgiving. You weren't there for the 3 days leading up to, or 2 days or whatever, or even the day after or something like that. So this probably very likely could have been the first time that she was there from the beginning of the mom's visit until after. So I think it's fair for her to have not said anything up until this point, because this is her first time experiencing being in the full tradition.
Well, take that assumption out of it, right? And let's assume another thing, right? Let's assume that she has been there for the Thanksgivings. Do you still think that she shouldn't have said anything?
No, I think that it would have been, you probably would have had to be a little bit more tiptoey about it, maybe. Or like you could have been, I guess a good way to go about it would have been, oh, like, do you do this every year with your family?
Exactly.
Do you plan to continue this, like, when you have your own family, like when you have your own wife and kids? I mean, but again, in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, like, but maybe if you weren't thinking like, oh, we're going to be together after, I don't know.
I think it's a safe bet. I think it's a safe bet to assume that she was probably there. This is an assumption because we don't know from the story.
Exactly.
But with how close they are, I would think that the girlfriend, now the fiance, right, OP, would have been there for the other holidays.
I would
You know
hope
what I
so.
mean? So I think it would have been appropriate to bring that up. But if the scenario is where this is the first time that she's there, but no, they even said last year, remember, she paid for the wine and spirits, $300 on wine and spirits.
That's true.
So no, that's not correct. She has been there before. So I think, she even said it was before they got engaged. So I think it's a safe bet to assume that she has. I mean, it's concrete now.
Yeah.
That she's been there for the entirety of the. I guess what you could argue is that possibly she wasn't there for the 4-day event. Yeah. But she was there for Thanksgiving. At the very least, she got a glimpse into the whole process.
The day is,
and
at least. Yeah.
And even you obviously you guys talk every day.
Yeah.
I would hope. Right. So you know that she's still in town. So you can kind of,
That's true. 1
+ 1 equals.
So I mean, yes, I do agree. Then, if that is the case, you could have said something a long time ago. I still stand by the original possibility that if this was the first time that she was in it from beginning to the end, that may be why she didn't realize how intense it was. If she did know that, then yeah, you probably should have said something. But even still, the fact that you're bringing it up before you guys are married and you get 10 years into the tradition, absolutely. I still think that you're doing the right thing by bringing it up now.
100%.
So no matter what, I don't think that you're the asshole for it.
No, I don't think you suck here at all. I
think
definitely don't think you're the asshole, but I think you could have brought it up earlier. To go off of this commenter's post. I think that's why I kind of think that he has a point, because you could have brought it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you were fine with it last year,
exactly,
when you were buying $300 plus of wine and spirits, then why is it an issue now? You know what I mean?
I wasn't thinking
you should have said I think the question that you asked, I don't know why that stood out so much, but it was the perfect question, because it was do you plan? It was so non-aggressive and non-confrontational. It was do you plan on doing this?
Just
forever?
regular conversation. That would have been the best way to do it.
Approach it.
You definitely,
there's no aggression.
Exactly, because as a girlfriend, you would absolutely be out of bounds to be well, when we're married, we're not going to do this. That shit gets you broken up with. Probably should, honestly.
Absolutely.
So yeah, obviously that wouldn't have been the best way, but
the way you said it was perfect, because it opens it up for a conversation that doesn't start out heated.
Exactly. No accusations.
Are you gonna do this every fucking year?
Yes. Just what are your plans?
Yeah. See,
how do you foresee this progressing?
And then that could even progress into a deeper conversation of once we're married, do you think that we can do it for a day, or we could do the, not the round robin, what's it called? The rotation? Yeah, the rotation.
Yes.
Something like that. You know what I mean? That would be the time to do it. You know what I mean? Because you got a full glimpse into this last year, and maybe even years before, and you never brought it up. And now all of a sudden you're we need to change it. And I'm maybe I can see both sides.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also maybe now, because that they're engaged to be married, maybe she felt more responsibility to do the hosting duties. Maybe because they were just dating before, that she let the hosting be primarily on him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But again, we don't have all these little details. So that's why it's hard.
I also feel you don't need to get, if you were to kind of shy away from the 4-day extravaganza.
I think that would solve a lot.
It would. You wouldn't. Hopefully, you wouldn't need $300 worth of wine and spirits.
Hopefully.
Right, and then you wouldn't need to get a deep clean, because she's not sleeping there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that would kind of lighten the
load a little bit.
Load.
Yeah, the hit to the pocketbook.
Yeah,
and stuff,
right. So maybe that would make her feel a little better as well. But I mean, like I said, we've gone through several different COAs, right, that you can actually do to alleviate this. But at the end of the day, I don't think she's an asshole for wanting to make this change, because that's 4 days.
That's a lot. And we always say that whenever you have an issue with somebody, it's best to bring it up immediately than to let it fester and stuff. It sounds like you did bring it up, but I mean, according to everybody else, because you're 2 years in, that's too late. But I don't agree with that.
I mean, no, definitely not. I think before you get married.
That's what I was going to say. I think any big conversations that you feel you need to have before you get married, anytime you bring that up, That's good. Even if it's the day before the wedding and you guys have a big conversation.
We're getting close to that line. This is Gray's territory.
Listen, it is cheaper to lose out on some deposits and shit like that and have to pay that than to do all that.
Depending on the wedding.
Plus the life that you've built and a divorce and all that. So that's what I'm saying.
Just
all
bring it up
big
as early as possible.
conversations,
Yeah.
have them before the wedding.
Have them before you plan the wedding.
Have them before you get engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you should
That's
do,
the biggest thing,
but
because I mean, some of these weddings can, $50,000, $100,000. Like, I know you can easily gloss over, like, oh, you can take that loss, and I get it.
Well,
I get the concept, but
in all honesty,
that's a big
maybe
nut.
don't get married and still have the party. So at least that money is not for nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's okay.
All right, time for our next story.
All right, so this one I am calling the Babysitting Bamboozlers. But the real story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Coworker to Come Pick Up Her Child Early?
Okay.
So I have a coworker, CW, who I'm pretty friendly with at work. We always talk about trying to find time to hang out more, but it's hard as I work 2 jobs and also have 2 kids with autism, so my schedule is pretty packed. CW asked if I could watch her 7-year-old every now and then so her and her husband could get a break. Last night was a trial run to see how she fares in our house, like to see if she gets along with my 2 toddlers or if she gets overstimulated, etc. Her daughter is also special needs, so she asked me specifically if I could do this, and I agreed to the trial. This trial was described to me as, we'll drop her off for a little, and we'll go grab some dessert nearby, like ice cream, and come back. Not too long. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, that doesn't sound too bad. I can totally hang out with her for a dessert date. They get to my house around 7 p.m. We chit-chat a little bit about our workday earlier. Then I hear, "Are you hungry, sweetie?" "Oh, yes, I'm quite hungry." And this is where I start messing up. I didn't call out, "You didn't feed your child before coming here?" Honestly, I'm tired at this point and I didn't feel like handling confrontation, so I just asked her if she'd like some chicken nuggets. She was also interested in what my daughter was eating, so I made her some of that too, after her parents left. The little one was just a joy, and she's so smart. She's normally homeschooled, so she didn't have a lot of interaction with other kids or people in general, so she had a lot to say. I sent her mom a little fun update and a cute video while we waited for her parents to return. About an hour later, I get a message saying, "We're gonna have dinner. We're at this address." I flash back to earlier when she asked if her daughter was hungry. Again, I didn't call it out. I just go, "That sounds yummy." I was trying to justify it, thinking that she had a busy work day while mine was more mild, but I felt a little used. We were coming up on 9 p.m. by the time I was starting to fall asleep. My work days start at 4:30, and I was wondering when she was coming back. So I finally text her that I'm sorry, but I'm falling asleep and need to get to bed soon. I get the "we're on the way" text. Another 30 minutes later, they come back and the energy was different. I let her in, I give her a hug hello, asking her how was their little date, and she gives me a flat "it was fine," and goes straight to her daughter to get her shoes on. I felt bad because little one did not want to leave, so I just stood back and let CW do her mama thing till little one was willing to go. CW said everything was fine after I asked if she was all right, but I'm having mixed emotions on it all. I started feeling like an asshole for cutting their date short, even though it was meant to be short. They really seemed like they needed the break. My husband said I shouldn't feel like an asshole because I already went above and beyond accepting to do this for nothing in return and feeding their child. What do y'all think? Am I the asshole for telling my coworker to come pick up her child early?
You're definitely not the asshole, in my opinion, you're not the asshole in that regard, but I'm leaning more towards for the overall situation, everyone sucks here, because this is a huge etiquette problem. For one, you agreed to babysit without a fucking timeline.
Yeah.
We've gotten babysitters in the past, right? And that's not a fucking thing.
No.
Like, there is an established, like, start time, like when you arrive,
Yes.
and end time. You're not just like, oh, we're gonna go for dessert, right?
Yeah.
On the other side of it, though, so that leaves it up for like, an interpretation, and that's not what this agreement. You should not go into this agreement like this, especially when you have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. But then on the other side, the reason why I think obviously the parents suck is because they said it was just a quick dessert. Right, dessert date.
Yeah, quick dessert date.
So you went to go get dessert, and then you started talking, and you're like, "Oh, let's go get dinner."
Yeah,
like that wasn't the agreement at all. But to be fair, I guess is that both sides were very vague. There was no time established by either party, and you just said, dessert date.
A dessert date, yeah.
And that's just. There's too much room for interpretation there.
I think more than anything, though, like the parents are definitely more the asshole than OP, because how are you going to drop your kid off and you haven't fed them?
That's another. Yeah, I want to go back to that. Like, you didn't feed them. That's what I mean. Like, there's a
What
huge
the fuck?
like the etiquette as far as like how the babysitting relationship goes. You broke like all like the cardinal rules.
Yes.
Like, why?
Yeah, I'd be like, did you drop her off with a full diaper too? What the fuck? Like, yeah, I just
on both sides, you didn't establish a timeline. You didn't.
Well, not only that, but like you seem like kind of a pushover.
100%.
Like that's where my judgment comes in, because like
once they said that you're gonna go get dinner,
I would have been like, oh, you didn't eat. Like, I don't know. I mean, just, you're hungry. You didn't eat before you came or something like that. Or, even, when they were like, oh, we're going to go to dinner now. You could have been like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
I thought it was just dessert.
Exactly.
Like, that would have been the best moment for you to say, hang on a second. This isn't what we talked about.
And you even described it as going to get dessert real quick and coming right back as a test run, not a full-blown fucking,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't think you're the asshole, but I do think you need to start talking. My
something.
God, speak up for yourself.
This sounds like another person that's just not confrontational, right?
Clearly.
It sounds like it. To answer the question, no, I don't think you're the asshole at all. But I think for the overall scenario, I think everyone kind of sucks here because, like, you guys need to learn, especially both of you have kids.
Yes.
You need to learn proper babysitting etiquette because you broke all the fucking cardinal rules.
Well, also, like I said, you need to start, like, advocating for yourself.
100%.
Because if you let people like take advantage of you like this and run you ragged, what are you going to do when it's time to take care of your two kids? You need to make sure that you're able to do that. So don't let her do this shit anymore. No. If you're ever going to babysit for someone again, okay, when are you dropping off? When are you picking up? Make sure that you feed them before they come here. Like, all these things, or even if you're like, okay, don't worry about it. I'll have dinner. They can come eat here. Yeah. Yes. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't do this ever again. Yeah.
Everything about this, both sides did everything wrong.
Yes, I agree.
Like, there's a pushover on one side. There's kind of.
Yeah. And then somebody who's happy to take advantage.
Exactly. Right. Like, but then there's also no communication. Like, there's no established timeline for the babysitting.
Yeah.
This whole thing was handled very poorly. Yeah. And that's why I kind of say that everyone sucks for the overall scenario. Yeah. But for the question, you're absolutely not the asshole because like it was already 9 o'clock at night. You got to get up at 4:30.
Exactly.
Like they're already way past the time that they said they were gonna be. So no, you're definitely not the asshole. But like you said, stand up for yourself.
That's what I was gonna say. Is my primary is not the asshole with like everyone sucks here as a very close second because like. Stop being such a fucking pushover.
Yeah.
Especially like you're saying you have two kids with autism. You cannot be a pushover because they need someone to advocate for them.
Yeah.
So start by advocating for yourself.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Absolutely. That was just what a clusterfuck of a scenario.
I read it and I was like
easily avoided.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah. And you shouldn't have agreed to do this from the jump without established.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully now you know how she operates and you know, like, if you are going to try this again, a second trial run, if you will, I don't know. Or if you're just going to swap babysitting, I don't know that either. But I would definitely make it very, very clear that you guys need to stick to a strict plan. And if they can't abide by that, then don't do it.
I don't know that I would even give it a second chance.
I was going to say, I don't think that I would give it a second chance either. But if you choose to.
Yeah, that's fair. If you choose to.
If you choose to.
Yeah.
That's on you. I personally would be like, I don't think that we're a good fit for babysitting.
No, not at all.
I don't think that we can work together well after this. So
it's just, and also, I guess if you do decide to do this again, you need to get comfortable with proper babysitting etiquette because you did it all wrong. Both sides.
Well, also, when they tell you, like, you should definitely start getting more comfortable with being like, hey, that wasn't part of our plan.
Yeah.
And like, I need to do or I have other things I need to do or blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
And the fact that they came back with an attitude, what seems like an attitude.
That's
another reason why I'm like, we don't need to
again.
entertain this.
Yeah, no.
That's fine.
No, I hope that you choose the same, but
yeah,
you're your own person. So this one, all of the comments were not the asshole.
Okay.
And OP was in there responding to some as well. So I've got a little bit of that in here.
A little back and forth.
But the first comment said, not the asshole. She turned your quick favor into an hours-long babysitting gig while you were left waiting around. So feeling used is completely fair. And then at one point, OP responded to another comment saying that it was, quote, her mistake for not confirming a time, to which someone replied, nope, not a mistake, not the asshole. A short trip to a cafe around the corner doesn't take 2 hours, which is a good point. And then another commenter responded as well saying, you tried it, it didn't work. Don't feel guilty about never babysitting again.
100%.
You did them a favor and they took massive advantage of it. If you give them another chance, they will continue to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Which is
that's why we said don't do this again.
Don't do it. Yeah. And then this last one was, I like this one. It was like kind of an all-encompassing of what pretty much everybody was saying. Mm-hmm. So they said, the not feeding their child before dropping her off and expecting OP to feed her. Who does that? And turning a quick ice cream outing into a couple hours plus dinner date, CW was definitely checking to see how much OP could be pushed around. OP, there shouldn't be a next time. I have plenty of experience where favors turn into expectations. And if you don't put your foot down now, you'll be the bad guy. Although by saying no to a next time, you'll be the bad guy anyway. There's no winning with takers. Yeah. Not the asshole.
Very true.
Yep. Like I said, that one just really kind of all encompassing of what we were saying and like the comments and everything. So that's why I definitely really liked that
agreed
one.
To answer that question, the question that she asked. 100% not the asshole.
Yeah.
But both sides handled the entire
setup,
the entire scenario pretty poorly.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think that you could say that a dessert date can't take 2 hours. You can't say that. I couldn't imagine having a babysitter come to the house and be like, you know what, we're gonna go to the show, right? We'll be back, right?
Yeah.
And like leaving it up for interpretation. No, here's the time that I need you here, and this is the time that I'm gonna be back.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and if there's any like, if we're gonna be late, it's happened before.
Exactly.
Constantly texting, constant communication.
Exactly.
That is, and then also like, if there's gonna be any kind of feeding, that needs to be addressed before the babysitting actually commences, right?
Absolutely.
So again, I don't think that OP is the asshole to answer her question, but just you need to handle this a whole lot better for your next babysitter.
Yes, I think it was a really bad setup.
Hopefully it's not these people.
Yeah, maybe don't do that with this coworker.
Yeah.
Maybe find someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go to like a mommy and me class. Maybe you can find someone better.
That's true.
To trade babysitting with.
Exactly. Somebody that has a general kind of concept of how this process works.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be like this.
Yeah. Well, also then when they said that like she was homeschooled, I'm like, they were probably just like really wanting to get rid of her, which like put her in fucking school then if you clearly need such a break. But
I mean, or just be honest on the intention.
I mean, yeah, definitely. But that's what I'm saying. Like how this last comment where they said they were trying to see how far they could push her.
Yeah.
That's what I mean is like, if you're at that point where like you need to try and test out babysitters so you can pawn off your kid on somebody, maybe homeschooling isn't for you. I don't know. But yeah, so
that's fair.
That was that our last one?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, that was our final Am I the Asshole story.
All right. So now it's time to find out who we think is deserving of the biggest asshole award. So who you thinking? Story 1, escaping to college. Story 2, chore chart Karen. Story 3, Thanksgiving dilemma. Story 4, the babysitting bamboozlers.
I think the mom in the first one, the escaping to college.
Yep. Okay.
Yes, I think the mom in that one is the biggest asshole overall because I think...
A little aggressive.
Well, I think that there's more there, and I think that you're going to have some more issues, especially now that you've announced that you intend to move out of the house.
Okay.
I think that, unfortunately, things might get difficult, so that's why I'm voting on the mom.
Okay. Story 1, escaping to college. You're talking about the mom. Okay. I was leaning between 2 and 4, the Chore chart Karen, because what was her name?
Ashley.
Ashley sounds like a nightmare to live with. And though I do agree that the mom from Story 1, escaping to college, was aggressive, there might be more going on there. Mm-hmm. If it was just a one-time thing, she's just upset about,
I hope that that's the case.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I don't know.
But with the Chore chart Karen, it seems to be a daily thing. Every day, she sounds like a nightmare. And then they're both, honestly, both of them, they're cornering OP and they're knocking on her door, blowing up her phone, brushing their chores off on her. They're like a daily nightmare. And then what was the other one? The Babysitting Bamboozlers. Honestly, now that I talk through it, story 1, story 2 for me. Story 2 for me for sure. Chore chart Karen. Because the Babysitting Bamboozlers, though the parents were pretty shitty in that one. Like I said, both sides were wrong.
Yeah.
As far as like how they addressed the scenario.
I think you can pretty easily cut that off from here on out also. So
yeah, exactly. So it's not a daily.
That doesn't have to be a recurring issue.
Exactly. Whereas like story 2, until you move, that is your life. So like that's a fucking nightmare.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, there you go. If you're interested, let us know what your vote is in the comments. Before we wrap up, we want to let everybody know. We want to hear from you, whether you agree, disagree, have some topic requests, or maybe have your own stories. We want to hear about it. So feel free to drop a comment, send us a direct message, or email us. All of our links and information is available at our website, which is therantingpodcast.com. There you'll find our links to all of our platforms to include Reddit, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So hit us up.
Yay.
Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
We'll see what happens with Apple.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing my 3 T's.
There you go. What are those? I thought it was 4.
No, I don't. Well, I don't have anything to talk it out, I guess. Do I have anything to tweak? I'm just going to treat myself in twerk, actually.
Oh, okay. That's 4 T's.
No, 2.
Okay, all right, that's it for us. If you like the show, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see everyone next week.
Yay!
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.